locked into You Are Urban iPlay Radio, the world's first urban podcast network.
Lose £5 in 5 days with ISOT. ISOT sponsors the Two Urban Guys.
Yeah, they need some real brothers critiquing the movie.
Yeah, giving up the real shit.
Right, man. Big.
Real brothers.
Welcome.
Yo, welcome
What's really good?
to another episode of Two Urban Guys
At the movies. Episode 23, you know?
Yeah, it's 23 now.
Episode
bro.
23, fam. Yeah.
But it's a
you know
special
what?
episode we got
It's a
today.
very
still.
special episode today, man.
It's a bit different still.
Who we got in the studio? In fact, actually, we're not even in the studio. We actually hijacked Cut the Chat studio today. So we're not even in our studio today.
We had to move somewhere else for this special guest still.
Yeah, we got a special guest in the house today. Shall we give him? I need to give him one of them intros because I think he deserves one of them decent intros.
Go you.
Do you know what I mean?
Go you.
You know what I mean? Right. So this episode, yeah, we're sitting down with one of UK's most prominent filmmakers, whose acting credits include such urban classics like Kidulthood,
Yeah.
Adulthood,
Yeah.
Anotherhood.
Yeah.
And then moving on to adding further hats on his head. He's writing, producing, directing. His feature debut, It's a Lot.
Yeah.
And his sophomore effort, The Intent.
Yes.
Who we got in the house, man? Tell him.
I want him to introduce himself still.
You don't know how to say my surname, do you?
That's the thing. I've been looking at it and I was like,
I did. I just wanted to share,
It's fine,
share
it's
it, innit?
I wasn't sure.
It's fine. What's up, people? My name is Femi Oyeniran. I'm an actor, producer, director, writer. I do a load of things in the film industry, and I'm happy to be here with you today. You gave me the gas intro, though.
I know.
That's fine.
I'm not really, apart from not knowing my name, it's like,
no,
that was the
did.
juice.
Fam, I'm not gonna lie.
Why
I know your name. I just didn't want to get it
That
wrong.
was
You
the
understand
juice.
what I'm
Should I
saying?
show you
Like,
this? What I do for white people?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ni,
Yeah.
ran.
I knew that, though.
Okay.
This is what I do for white people.
No,
You see it?
that's what I'm saying, though.
You
That's
feel it?
because you're
Some
Jamo,
sign
though.
language business
Nah, that's
there.
because
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Jamo.
That's
Enigma-
how-
I mean, like-
Enigma's Jamo.
Like we're not confident when it comes to pronouncing African names.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm
It's
saying.
for, like, one tip.
Like, let's be honest.
When it's Nigerian, it's like, or Yoruba, it's mostly phonetic. It's just what it looks like on the page.
Okay.
Next time I'm just going to say it. Seeing as I do all of the synopsis.
Just introduce it from now on.
From now on.
Don't not to leave Jamaicans with key parts
I know.
of certain things because we might drop the ball on that.
Might come late.
Yeah, me.
Femi.
What's
So
up?
what's really good? How you doing now?
I'm
How you
out
doing?
here, man. I'm out here just like,
We
chilling with the
appreciate this.
boys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
On
Yeah.
the
You
Cut the Chat
guys.
podcast, they gun me a lot.
Do you know what? I'm
That's
an
all they do,
avid
you know? Like, they
listener.
proper cuss me on
But
their
you know what
podcast.
though? Let me say something because I listen to the show in it. So what I get from it, and this is no disrespect to the other guys, like you bring a certain perspective though.
Yeah, them lot, they just
Like
chat crap.
that's no. Okay, I was gonna say that, but I was gonna say you kind of bring like an intelligent perspective. I'm not saying that the rest of you lot are like dumb.
So you're rinsing the
I'm not
man's
saying
out.
that. I'm
You're
not
rinsing
saying
that.
that.
We've
I'm
come
not
to the
saying that.
studio
I'm
and
not,
you're rinsing
David,
them
I'm not
out.
saying that.
Them
So we
lot,
got Damon in the house.
they're
We
not
got
gonna
little
lie.
man in the
Quiet
house.
in the background. You want them to be
Yeah.
quiet in the
That's what I'm
background. You
saying.
better stop talking about
Nah,
them.
but I'm just but this is your shining.
I
I'm
got
giving
three
you your
angry
shine.
mans ready to like. They
To,
got
like,
food in their hands
jump
as
on
well. I don't
man.
know what's gonna happen still.
Nah,
I
little
don't want
man's
nothing
too
to
busy
pop
eating.
off still.
He's not gonna say nothing. Don't worry, he's chilling. But nah, thank you for having us up in your spot and
Definitely.
doing this this interview, this podcast. First and foremost, what I want to say is congratulations on your new film.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
man.
thank you.
Yeah. Really enjoyed that, bro.
Really
enjoyed that
good
still.
effort,
Yeah,
man.
me.
So yeah, I just want to start. First question, just get straight to it. Like, what is your script writing process like? Because before I jump straight into it, it's because when you were, this is going back obviously however many years when you
When I was
first
16, I want to spit in bars. And
See, I wasn't even going to bring that up. I wasn't even going to bring that up. I wasn't. You know what?
You know what? My bars weren't even that bad.
It wasn't
That's
bad.
the
It was
only
decent. It was
evidence of me MCing. There's like 2 clips of me MCing on the internet.
But
and
you know
that's
it's
one
on
of
YouTube
them.
though, right? You know,
Yeah, I
so-
know. I've watched it.
It's
And
got hits,
not,
though.
It's not even awful.
It's got hits.
I know it's not awful.
Alright, it's alright. You were 16, innit?
I
So
was-
it's
I was
fine.
like-
Hold on, wait. Just so everybody knows, because you weren't even your name wasn't Femi on that. What did you call yourself? Then?
I was like Blasé or something.
Yeah, was it Blaze?
Yeah, or
Blaze.
Blaze.
Blase. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was it. So yeah,
I
go
was-
check it out. 16 bars. Type in 16 bars presents. I think it was Blaze, innit?
Yeah.
And you'll catch Femi when he was 16 spitting bars before he jumped into the
I thought I was
movie
a
game.
fuck. I thought I was fucked up. I was getting a brat.
But you was with the goons though.
I went in.
Yeah, it was decent though. I like
Went
that.
in.
But yeah, that's a little bit of Genesis, a little bit of Femi's early days. But what I was going to touch on was when you were writing It's a Lot. I remember seeing you a few times, and this is way back. You might not even remember this. And we were talking about putting together a show. Mm-hmm. And we was trying to get Ace involved, and he was on the long team, which is the reason why we didn't end up doing it. It was a music-based show. But I remember you was in a process of writing It's a Lot.
Yeah.
Because I remember you used to go to that you said you was writing in that library in Holloway. Can you remember this?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
because that was when I remember you said you was going through the process. Yeah. And I remember you used to say you used to go there every day. So going off that, I just wanted to know, like, how is your writing process like?
It's evolved. Like, it's evolved. Right now, I write when I can. Like, not like back in the day. Back in the day, before I made my first feature, I was a lot more free. I had, like, a lot more time. So I could, like, go to the library. So I would go to the library and work. Like, so I would treat it like going to work. Okay. So I'll leave home at 9 in the morning and I'll write till 5 and I'll aim to get about 10 pages a day. But then those 10 pages are not always the fire 10 pages. Of course, yeah. But then I would always aim to get 10 pages because what I find with a lot of creative people is that even though they're creative, they don't have they're not structured. And so things don't get delivered on time. Things don't get done when they're supposed to be done. And all of that stuff that you have with people that work in the creative industry and creative people. And I try to like almost like, bring more of a structured and rational approach to it where it's like work. Because when people go to work, they turn up every day, even if they don't have a good day at work. They turn up regardless. It's not people, like most people like work like 40-something weeks in a year. Like, that people only really doing something important or good in about 10 of those weeks, but every other day they turn up. It's the routine. And then that way you get better as well. There are scripts that I've written that will never see the light of day. Like if I revisit now, like, I started writing in about 5-6 years ago, like properly. If I revisit those scripts now, they'll be fire, like, just because I'm so much better now. And then if I leave them and I revisit them in 5 years' time, I'll be like so much, So like, I think practicing, if you want to be a writer, write all the time, but don't just write and say, I'm going to write this and it's going to go out and that's it. Because like I said, I've got about 4 or 5 scripts that no one's ever read and I don't think anyone will ever read. Where... so with It's a Lot times, I was like going to the library all the time and just working, and I would work at night, like I would just work on it all the time consistently. And
with The Intent, how was the process different?
It's different because so we co-wrote it. So me and Nicky Slimton co-write. With It's a Lot, he wrote a synopsis.
Okay.
And it's weird because I was like, when he first wrote the synopsis, we were gonna shoot it just straight away. And get Little Man, Cut the Chat Little Man, to actually play the lead. Like we were gonna do it low budget, and then I realized I could get money for it like 3-4 years later, and then I just wrote the whole script.
Okay.
So like my co-writer came up with the idea, and I just wrote the script, and I just added different elements to it. But I wrote that whole script, and it wasn't great, but it was my first film. Like, it was all right. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, when I look back on it, there's certain things that I would have changed about it. But it was my first feature. Like, I did all right business with it. And I think writing wise, but with The Intent, Nicky wrote a first draft, and it was like 50 pages or something. And I rewrote the whole thing. And then like made it into a proper feature. And then from there we had to write pickup days, and but The Intent actually, bizarrely, we spent less time on the script than It's a Lot.
Okay.
Wow.
I was gonna ask.
It's a lot. I spent years on it.
Okay.
Because I was trying to raise money for 18 months.
Okay.
And every so often I would change it. I just kept changing it like every so often. So I would change a bit of it. I'll change a bit here. Like I was working on it for ages.
Okay.
And like. But It's a Lot. The Intent we wrote quick. Like The Intent probably had like 2 or 3 drafts.
Wow.
Okay. And how long would you say the whole
normally
process?
That like really you should work on scripts. Like you should do a few drafts. You should do about 5 drafts, like maybe 6, 7. Like The Intent didn't have that many drafts. The Intent was like we had the idea, raised the money, then we had to get the script. I went to Nigeria, came back from Nigeria. Nicky came with the initial draft. After that, I wrote the next draft in like a couple of weeks. Then I wrote another draft after that. And so it was like
quick
it was
process.
quick. Like but it's weird because it's worked more than it's a lot. People have like it's resonated more with people than it's a lot.
Okay,
which is really interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's not about. It's like, you know, a rapper will go in a studio and record a song in one take, and then they'll do other songs that they'll do like 20 takes, and the one take song, some people don't even like their hit song, you know. It's just like, I went in the studio and now they have to perform it for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And they didn't even like the tune.
But don't you think that speaks to your creative muscle in a sense that you spent all that time on this a lot, working on that, but at the same time you're writing that script, you're actually working on your writing muscle, so you got
No, absolutely. That's why I said I'll go to the library. I was going to the library every day. Now I don't really have time. Like, you know, I'm working on, like, at the moment, live projects that I'm getting paid to do. Like in different guises. I'm working on about 3-4 projects.
What, films or
like film, TV,
okay,
like just different projects. Like, you know,
are you producing or writing?
I'm producing most of them. I'm producing about 3 of them.
Okay.
I'm exec producer on one. I'm like assistant producer on one. I'm producer on one, and then I'm writing. I'm supposed to be writing like 2 or 3 films, but I'm only just about writing 1 right now.
Okay.
But I read a lot. I read other people's work a lot because I'm producing, right?
Yeah,
so I get to read a lot of scripts. So I read I would say I read on average, if you want to average it out, like 1 script a week.
Okay.
If not more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like whilst I was away for a week, like in Calgary, and whilst I was there, I read a feature. I started another feature. I started reading a TV series. I've got a feature, so I'm reading all the time. I'm reading about 4 or 5 scripts. So it's always weird because people send me scripts to read all the time, and they're like, "Oh, have you read it yet?" And like, what people don't realize, I've always got a reading list of like other people's scripts that I'm trying to produce for my company, or like I'm trying to do stuff, or they just want feedback, and I'm very generous with feedback. I'll give, like, I've read some bad scripts, man, but I'll give people feedback.
When they're giving you scripts, are they giving you full featured scripts?
Yeah, but I don't have time for that no
That's
more.
what I was gonna say.
Like,
Like,
if people want to give me stuff now, like, you know, like your listeners, I don't know, like if they want to send me stuff, they don't have to. Like, but if they ever wanted to, I prefer like just give me a 10-page synopsis.
Okay.
Because then, like, because I know what your idea is about. But like, people give me scripts.
That's
like,
what I'm saying, like 100
but I read
pages.
them. I read them, but I prefer not to because I don't have time. So it takes me months now. So you're better off just sending me your top line and like sending me a synopsis or treatment or something, because like it takes me long because I've got. Every day I'm working on stuff. Then every so often I have auditions because I still act.
Of course.
Then all the time I would like, I'll have other people's reading already, and then we've got projects that we're developing in a company in house. And so there's always stuff on. And so if you send me a script today, it goes to the back of the queue. There's no way it's going to climb to the top. Because I've got a script by Melamine, I've got a script by... you have to be something special for you to climb above all these people that I've got scripts from. Of course.
So how hard is it to produce an independent film?
It's very hard.
How hard was it getting the intent to where we got to see it? Like, was it
very hard.
Was it more difficult?
It was very
hard.
hard.
Most difficult? Of all the projects you had, had it been the most difficult to get to final fruition?
Yeah, because it was just sheer will.
Okay.
So we did it. It's a lot. It didn't really do that well, and we knew we couldn't go back to town. Like, and when I say town, I mean Soho. Like, you know, to all the distribution company, production companies, film company. Everyone's based in Soho, right? Like, when I mean town, you can't go back. Basically, Hollywood. That's our Hollywood. You can't go back to Hollywood after you've like. Your first film didn't really like connect with the audience as you expected it to. I still love that film. I think like it had potential. I think we made mistakes in the casting. I think it could have been funnier. I think it ended up being more of a drama than a comedy, and they marketed it as an out and out comedy, which it wasn't. It was like more of a comedy drama. I think I could have been better in the film as an actor. I thought I was all right, but I think I could have been better. I think I was doing too much. And so like reflecting on it, like, you know, there were so many things that like, you know, I learnt from it. But then I'm still very proud of it because that's my first film. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And that came from a place of struggle as well. There was so much I was going through at the time. My life really was changing at the time. Like, I had my first son. Like, there was so much going on in my life. And so I feel like that represents that stage in my life. And so I'll never, like, look down my nose at that film. But I feel like I've learnt a lot from it. And so with The Intent, we had to do it independently. Because no one went giving us money to make films, right?
So it was totally independently.
Everything was so me and Nikki, after It's a Lot, we were downtrodden, man. We were down. And so I called Nikki. We were speaking one Christmas 2013. And we were like, we should make a film. We should make a different film.
Nikki Slimting is a producer.
Is a like me and Nikki Slimting kind of were like collaborative. Yeah. We collaborate on films, like, you know, and so... Like, we have a company together, like, and then I run a production company with Victor Adeboden called Purple Gecko. And, like, those are, like, my two, like, main things. But I've got lots of other projects with other people, but they're the two companies that are, like, day-to-day, really, I'm running. And so I called him, and I was like, we need to do another film. And we were like, we should make something like Belly and Juice and In Too Deep, like all these films that we liked. And in my head, it banged. Imagine that. Like, you know, like in my head, it banged. Like, that idea, I was just thinking, it was like, this is it. And we were like, we need to put... And Nicky had a good relationship with Scorcher, and he was like, he wants to put Scorcher in it. And we sort of like then put a few other rappers in it off the bat, like Nicky knew Krypton Conan and Fecky and all of those, because he's from grime, so he grew up in the grime scene. He was I used to actually listen to him as a grime DJ when I was a kid. Like, he's like slightly older than me, but he was one of the... I used to listen to his sets on pirate radio. And so we wrote it, and then we went to like people that we knew had money, like just pitched it to them. And like we got money, like we literally had money in the bank before we shot. Before we wrote a line of the script. So we pitched it off the treatment. And like, again, like we just met some people that really believed in us. And also we did it like at a tight budget. Like, it was like, I can't even remember precisely how much the budget was in the end, but like it was really tight. And then we shot the film. But it was a struggle. It was a hard shoot. Like, you know, because we didn't have a big budget, it was a hard shoot. And like, we had all these rappers on set, and it was like, it was hard to manage.
But it's mad because the production values of the film is high, bro.
I know. But I know why. I know why though. Like, because we got a good DOP, and that's what I tell like young directors. It's not about just getting the best camera. It's about getting people that know how to use the camera. One thing I made sure we got a good cameraman, and he knew what he was doing. And that was very important.
You got to place a lot of trust in
it. Like, that made a massive difference. And also, on top of that, like, you know, the edit is good of The Intent. So we've got a good editor. But then what I did with that was I used a documentary editor. Because
gives it a certain feel.
It's more like, at times it's very slow. And then it picks up the pace.
Yeah, I get you.
Do you get what I'm saying? But like, you're not gonna get that from a young director, young editor. So I worked with an editor that was like, you know, worked on. I think that was his first feature. And so we shot it. That was very hard. It was a hard shoot. But
what did you shoot on?
Red.
Yeah, I thought so.
Just a red.
It
was a red. My first film, It's a Lot, was shot on a Alexa. But again, it doesn't look better than in the Intent. And this is the point. It doesn't matter what camera you're using. It's about lighting. Really, all it boils down, you could shoot a film on a DSLR if you have the right lighting. And this is what guys miss. It's like you run, like a lot of young people, they run and get the best cameras, but they don't have any light. You're better off spending money on lights and just having a decent shoot on your iPhone.
It's true.
Like, I know it sounds like I'm messing around, but you can shoot a decent film on your iPhone with good lighting. And that sounds outlandish, but
it's just
if you understand the filmmaking process, I mean, it makes sense.
Was very good. Scott Sanford, he was great. He was great at his job, and we just had a small team. We did it. It was hard, and then when we finished it, me and the editor, we sat there for months and just cut the film. We did a pickup 4 days. We shot extra footage. I did voiceovers. Like, I worked really and truly. The story, the writing that we didn't do in the first place, I had to do it later to make the story make sense.
I get you.
So like the film never used to start with the boy with the gun at the start.
Okay,
But I thought,
okay.
yeah, that would be iconic. Let me put that at the front.
And
like,
and you bookend it at the
yeah,
end with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it never started like that.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? And then you've got like the voiceover. The one at the top was there, but there was no other voiceover.
Okay.
So all the voiceovers later on, I made them later on.
Oh wow!
And the footage, like, you know, if I I could break it down further, but like a lot of the film, like I sort of added to it in post, and I was sort of like consulting with there's a guy called D.D. Armstrong. He's a great writer. He's like one of the best writers I know. Like, and I was consulting with him. He was helping out, and like, you know, he came to one of the first edits on it, gave me notes, and like he's like one of the writers that I want to work with.
You want to work with again?
Like, and I have been trying to work with for years actually, but I really want to put. That's one of the people I really want to push. But like, so we shot it, we edited it, and then we tried to shop it around. We took it to all the distribution companies, went back to town, and took it to all the and they all said, no, it's not working, because urban films, black films weren't working.
Of course.
The last film that came out was Ill Manners. It wasn't really a black film, but it was a black urban film. Ill Manners, and it didn't do business, and they put a lot of money into it. And then It's a Lot came out, didn't really do that well. Gone Too Far came out, didn't really do that well. It's a Lot and Gone Too Far were like the last two sort of urban films that officially. I think there was a film called Tower Block with Kano, but it wasn't really urban, but like it went straight to DVD. And then obviously the last thing to do well that had street kids in it was like Top Boy, but that was on TV, not on film. And we pitched it, no one wanted it. Like everyone said no. Like, I don't want to say all the distributors' names because we're talking to them now about the sequel, which is the irony of life. But and then Nikki still wanted a deal. Like Nikki really wanted a deal. And then it got.
So you got to finish the film's
we
finished
finished
now.
the film,
You're
like,
shopping it.
So we shot the film August 2014.
Okay.
It was finished technically. I went to Cannes in April. In April 2015.
Okay.
The offline edit. The grade and sound took long because the sound was done on a favor and the grade was done on a favor. And my friend did it and he just took long. Like he just didn't do it until I went to his house. And sat with him. He went to his home office and like literally sat with him. And it happened after that. It happened really quickly. Now the film's ready. We're taking it to market like September 2015. And everyone's like, nah, it's not going to work. People just sat down with us, took meetings, and eventually just sort of turned it down. We got offered 2 deals in the end. And then I called up Nicky and I was like, I think we should just put it out ourselves. And he was like...
My sentiments exactly.
He was like, what? I was like, I think the deals that we got on the table, they're not offering us that much money. It's not... Like, when you think about it, I can just go around to my brethren and ask them for money. And you know what, actually, I put up... And then I went to a couple of my brethren and they were like, oh, no, why don't you take a loan out of the bank? I was like, I don't want to do that. I owe people bare money already in life. Like, you know what, I'll put up my money.
Okay.
So I put up my money. I was like, you know, I'll put up some of my money, match it.
Yeah.
And so, like, a couple of my brethren kind of were like, no, I'm not sure. Anyway, I got the money. And Nicky went to a few people. Like, we just went round. Like, you know, like, I spoke to Damon, like, from Cut the Chat. Like, he introduced me to people. Like, so it was really organic. Like, you know, if it, like, I was saying, I was making a joke. Ace and Damon and that were at the premiere. And I was making a joke to Damon, like, saying, like, the people didn't want to let them in or, like, they weren't letting them through the VIP. And I was like, there won't be a premiere without Damon.
I hear that.
Like, there's like 1,000 people. How many people there? Ace, about 450 people there. And I was like, that they wouldn't, like, if Damon didn't really help me out, we won't be here right now. None of us would be here. Like, but people can't fathom that. Like, it's real money. It's real people that put up the money. Like, for like, you know, like, and most of them, like, you know, we've got all of them made their money back. The film was successful in the end, just because we went in with the market and like I don't think anyone has had the digital campaign that we've had for UK film.
Let's talk about the marketing because I'm very interested in that side of things because what you've done is basically it's kind of unprecedented. No one's
done it before.
Done that.
No one's done it before.
Yeah, and that whole concept of basically putting it into the cinema yourself and literally almost touring your film, so to speak.
We didn't even tour it. We just released it one time.
Oh, was that only once? You didn't move it around the cities?
No, we didn't do that. We just
No?
released. We did 2 weekends in a cinema.
Okay.
2 weekends in the cinema, and we did 2 premieres. We did a premiere in London. We did a premiere in Birmingham. That's it.
Okay. How many screens did you actually do?
We did about. It's weird. We didn't do that many screens, but we did lots of screenings. We did about 20-something screenings.
Wow.
And we did about maybe like 10 to 15 screens tops.
Okay.
So we didn't do that many screens, but we had lots of screenings like spread out over. We did like quite a lot of screenings actually. So the thing is, I can explain it, but it's going to take long. In short, we did this thing called R Screen, which is a cinema on demand platform.
Okay.
So if you can get enough people to say they're going to watch your film a week before your film comes out, the screening goes ahead. And we smashed that. But no one had ever done that before in our world. But we knew we could smash that because of the people we had in the film. And because of the demand for the film. So we smashed all our screens like on the opening weekend was sold out. If anything, we didn't have enough cinemas.
Okay.
And then we forward a cinema, which is when you buy out a cinema. That's what they call it. Like we bought a cinema in Newham, Showcase. Again, that was sold out. And so we didn't have enough. Actually, a problem with Intent, the release of the Intent, the biggest flaw of the release was that we didn't have enough screens.
Really? Imagine. That's good.
That's a good flaw to have, though.
That was a great flaw. It was a fantastic flaw. And then we put it out on iTunes on the same day.
That was going to be
And that was what smashed it. Like, you know,
Okay.
we peaked on iTunes.
Yeah.
Like we at
Okay.
number 3.
Okay,
On
wow.
the official iTunes chart.
Yeah,
And that was like
that's it,
that was
that's
like
it.
beating Spider-Man and Superman,
unprecedented. Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
That they were legit films. Like, you know, like legit films out. The only films that were on top of us were and this was in the summer, you know. This was in the heart of the summer. This was released on July 29th. That's bang in the summer.
Yeah.
The only film that was on top of us on iTunes was Zootropolis. And there was a Born Identity box set. They had like 3 or 4 films for the price of our film. Those were the only 2 films on top. There was no way we were beating the Bourne one. Because the Jason Bourne film came out on the same weekend as us.
Of course.
And so it was one of those ones where, you know, it was a massive victory and everyone was watching.
That's
Everyone
well
was
done.
watching.
Like that's pretty dope.
But I thank God, like, and like, you know, I thank my family as well because like at that time when I was like, I'm gonna take my own money and put it in, like, you know, my wife was supportive. My little sisters put up money for the film.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like
So
my
you had
little
that
sister's
level of
like
support,
20.
man.
She turned 22 the other day. Like my little
Wow.
sister was putting up money. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And like my really like my close friends have put up money. Like so, it's not like it's not even like. It's very grassroots, like it's very much. But now it's put us in a position where we're talking to all the, like we're meeting distributors every week. Like I went away to Calgary last week. The week before that, I was with distributors. Like I come back this week. I'm meeting a distributor this week. I'm meeting distributors next week. Like and like if anything, like I was working on the script, on the treatment for the sequel to the Intent on the plane because like I have to write it. Even though I'm so busy, but I have no choice but to write it. Like every single time that I'm not doing it, I feel like, tomorrow I'm meant to be going to a premiere, but really I don't really want to. And so
I feel that.
Yeah.
Was it like a conscious decision because you obviously got Scorcher up in there, Krypton Conan up in there? Was it like because you knew them type of people, they can hit social media hard as well? So
I
like
wanted to make a film like Belly.
Yeah.
Like the Americans have done everything we're doing before, you know. Like you know, like me putting out the film in the cinema independent. That's Tyler Perry was doing that and he sleep. Like the Americans have been doing it for time. Like do you know what I mean? And we're just late. Like in the UK, we're just late. And also, the powers that be think there's no black audience.
Yeah,
that is a thing.
Or like, and also they have this thing. Actually, this is the biggest lie. That when content has black people in it, only black people watch it.
That's the biggest lie.
That's the
So,
biggest.
so
it's
the what they
misconception,
use to downtrod black content makers, be it film, be it music, be it anything, is the idea that your appeal is only to black people,
Very limited.
which is a lie because
of course.
which is like because black people don't just watch things with black people in it because we don't even have enough content to do that.
Exactly.
Like people of different races, like, you know, people don't just watch stuff with people that look like them.
Of course, they couldn't do that.
And so that is the biggest, like, and that's that. And also, like, you know, the Cool would be a black audience because it's got a majority black cast.
Exactly.
But, like, you know, we'll just, you're trying to tell me Jay-Z only appeals to just black people.
Nah.
So if Jay-Z, who was a hustler in Brooklyn, like, you know, back in the 80s and early 90s, like, can appeal to the masses, why can't our film?
Yeah. Exactly. I think Luke Cage is a prime example of that being the light, because Luke Cage is a predominantly black cast, and it broke the internet.
Yeah, but that's,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a great thing, you know, like with platforms like Netflix now, they're changing the game. It's like their consumer base means that it's weird. Netflix is almost like cheating.
Almost.
Because if Netflix commissions something, there's 65 million or something, or 70 million, if not more people in the world that have Netflix subscription. That's your potential audience.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's like cheating.
It's like going straight
like,
to
I want to do it. Like, we were trying to do a Netflix deal. Like, just straight to Netflix. That was the deal we were trying to do. Like, we're still trying to do a Netflix deal now, but it's either Netflix, Amazon, or Sky. But we're in a different... We're in a good place now, man. And I just thank God that we had the balls to actually do it ourselves, because we could have undersold the film to a distribution company who would have then owned the film.
Yeah. So it's almost like you learnt so much from your first feature. It feels like that you've used everything to thrown it into the pot basically for the intent, and it's taken you now so many more doors are opening. If you get what I'm saying.
I feel like in the past year I just can only thank God. Like, my life has completely changed. Not even because of the intent, just because I've been, all the hard work that I've been putting in behind the scenes for years and years, it's just paying off. I'm super busy, like, you know, like, I'm super busy. I'm making more money than I've ever done in the industry, like, and that's because of all the hard, like, but I've spent a lot of years not making no money.
Of course.
Zero. Like, I'm talking zero. I spent 18 months trying to raise money for it so long. Like, in that time, I got like 2 or 3 acting jobs. That's not enough to live on.
Of course.
So it was a struggle.
So it was tough times. So like, you know, I've gone through times where I'm making no money. Like, just because I had this vision. It's like, I was watching an interview with Nat Turner the other day. Nate Turner, sorry.
Birth of a Nation?
Nate Parker. So I just mixed his name up with the character. Like, you know, Nate Parker, I was watching an interview with him, and he was talking about the fact that, you know, like, he stopped acting for 2 years to get that film made. And like, you just sort of like, I could so relate to him. It's weird. I was listening to him and I was laughing because this guy, he's doing what I'm doing, but he's doing it on a bigger scale. Like, I was watching like a couple of interviews with him, and it was really funny because, like, you know, I sort of like been through the same thing. I've been working for so long, like, and the opportunities are now fall into place. I just pray to God that I make the right decisions now, because like, we're in a position where, like, in TV, in film, that we deliver to a high standard. And that's my main concern.
Okay. What do you prefer, acting, writing, or directing?
I love acting because it's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why acting's easy. It's hard to get roles.
Yeah.
But once you get a role as an actor, all you have to think about is acting.
But when you're doing the producing thing,
you're thinking about a million. Like, imagine I've done that all in one film. I've done it twice now. All in one film. So stressful. I think I was like, it's like I did a good job in the intent, like, acting wise. I think like my acting. I think my acting didn't suffer because of everything else that I was doing. And but you know, it's normally an easy job. Like, just acting, you get picked up. You get. Not in the intent. The intent was hard. The actors will tell you it was a hard time, like, you know. But you get picked up, you get pampered, you get looked after, like, you know. So it's easier. Writing, you have to be diligent. It's very slow. It's very lonely. And it's very boring at times.
You're in your own head.
You have to be diligent. Producing, it's not easy. It's like work, man. It's like real. Producing like grown-up work, you know. It's like you're doing accounting, you're doing law, you're doing like people management. It's like being Alex Ferguson. It's like being Arsene Wenger. That's what producing is, because you're managing money, you're managing people, you're managing like elements, Like acts of God. If it starts raining and you want sun, you're managing like
Yeah.
it's like being Alex Ferguson. It's like managing a football
Proper
team.
management.
Yeah.
Proper management stuff.
Yeah, it's hard still. But to date, what has been your favourite project you've been a part of?
I think I can't deny Kidulthood because that brought me in a game. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like a lot has been made of me and Noel Clark not getting along and blah, blah, blah. And I think I've made a lot of it. But, like, you know, I can't deny that project because that was what... If it wasn't for that project, I'd be a lawyer somewhere because, like, you know, I was signed up to... I was at uni. And, well, Kidulthood came out when I did Kidulthood when I was in college.
Yeah.
I'd already applied to go to university to study law. I started doing my law degree and then the film came out. And when I was 19 and then adulthood I did when I was leaving uni. And so, you know, I would be a lawyer somewhere. So, like, it kind of meant I'm able to do what I do today. Like, and everything else has been through sheer hard work. Just like, and I can't even say I'm the most hard-working person in the world, but I work hard. Like, I don't know, not many of my friends that I know work harder than me. And that's no like, indictment on my friends. My friends, like, I've got some friends that work really hard, but I don't know that many that work as hard as me. And
Even Ace is in the room.
You know what? I'll be honest. Like Ace is a hard-working. Ace overstretches himself, though. I think.
Yeah.
Ace commits to too many things and like doesn't deliver on them all. And so Ace looks like he's a flake.
He doesn't know how to
but
say
he's
no.
not a flake. No, I'm just
That's
being real.
probably-
Like I shouldn't even be talking about a man.
Because
like
he says yes to everybody for everything.
Ace commits to too many things. And,
100%.
like, Ace is actually a hard-working person, but he just commits to too many things.
Okay.
And like and that's a different curse. I do the same thing. And that's what I'm learning. I need to start saying no.
Start saying no, for real.
Like,
for real.
and I do exactly the same thing as
That's
them.
what I'm saying. When you said you read all them scripts, I'm like, how?
Because
How,
a lot
Sway?
of people send
Why?
me scripts, like, and I read them. Like,
But-
Oh, that's nice though. It's good
because
of
you
you
know
to
what?
put
You know
your
what?
time
When
across and
people
all that.
read people's like, because I would like people to do it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I, like, you know, if I meet someone like Steven Spielberg and I'll give him a script, I will never give him a script. This is the thing, because I just know it's nonsense, yeah. Because you won't read it. But like, if I met Steven Spielberg, but imagine I was that person that gives scripts and I gave him a script, and if he read it, it would mean so much to me. And so you put yourself in people's shoes and
That's
you think,
true.
actually, it probably means so much to them that I read their script.
Who is your favorite director?
Spike Lee, 80s Spike Lee, early 90s Spike Lee.
Remember when I said that?
80s
Yeah.
Spike Lee, early 90s
Yeah.
Spike
He
Lee.
used to be.
Yeah, no,
Can I
Spike
ask you-
Lee now.
But that's what I was going to say. Let me ask you, have you seen Chirac?
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. Okay, we don't need to go into it then.
It's one of the
That's
worst.
good. It literally
I think
is
Spike Lee,
one of the biggest
Spike Lee
disappointments.
conceptually is good, but like it's like
His
the
execution.
intent is better than Chirac.
I would agree with that.
100%.
And it shouldn't be though.
But it is. But it is.
Do you know what I mean?
is.
It shouldn't be like,
Yeah.
but it is. So it's like probably it's a lot is better than Chirac. Chirac's not good.
It's not.
It's weird. You know what films like It's a Lot? It's really weird. There's an American film. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. There's a Dope.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
like It's a
yeah,
Lot.
yeah,
It's like the
yeah,
same
yeah,
concept.
Dope. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
weird. It's the same colours. The credits are the same. It's really weird. Random thought. It just came to my head. But that film's like It's a Lot. It actually plays out. It's not super funny. It plays out like the same. I feel like you can't make that type of film anymore
Yeah.
because it came out after It's a Lot. But it's exactly like the same film.
Yeah,
It's like a nerdy black boy.
Yep,
It's exactly the same film.
Well, how do you feel about it actually being another Nigerian director, writer-director? Almost identical to you.
You know, we're all second generation. Like, I'm first generation, actually. I came from Nigeria when I was 10. But, like, you know, it's, like, you know, I'm proud of, like, all black people, man. Like, we go through so much struggle in the world, like, and we're persecuted, like, for just being black. Like, so much. And no other race really goes through that. And so, like, I'm just proud of all black people that are doing things, that are doing positive things. It's weird, like, you know, I'm proud of all black people that are striving and trying to make the most of their situation.
Okay.
Like, and so Nigerian or not Nigerian, obviously I've got a soft spot for Nigeria because I'm actually Nigerian. I was born
You're
in-
actually Nigerian.
Yeah, like I'm legit Nigerian. Like, you know, one of those. It's not like my mum and dad were Nigerian. Like, I speak Yoruba, and so like I'm really proud of like Nigerian people. But like when I just think about black people, I remember going to Harlem and I never felt more at
That
home.
is the yeah. We said the
And
same
that's
thing.
weird, you know, like
Yeah,
that's weird. I've
yeah.
been to Nigeria, I've been everywhere, but when the minute I landed in Harlem, I
It was a
felt
certain
like
feeling,
when I
yeah.
watch Luke Cage and I see Harlem, I feel like that's my
Yeah,
home.
that
I'm not even
vibe.
from
That
Harlem.
vibe,
I'm
yeah.
not even
That's
American.
crazy. Literally, when we came back all them years ago, because we lived over there for a little while, and when people used to always ask what it was like, and we used to say the same things like, when you get to Harlem, you feel like you just got home. It's crazy. It's
very
a
weird,
weird
man.
feeling. Yeah.
And so I just and when I got to Harlem was when I realized I actually love black people.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I thought I was the only one that felt like that.
Do you know, like I don't know why
That's
there was
dope.
certain in
That's
me,
dope.
like, and you know what I saw the struggle, and I saw until I went to America, I didn't know how much I cared about
Black people.
and how much I respect black people that are striving despite all the difficulty that black people have been put through in the world. I'm not like them black power people. I like everyone, but like I've got a unique respect for black men that are striving and black women that are
As we
striving
all should,
despite
yeah.
all the prejudices that we go through.
Let me ask you a question. Being specific to your latest movie, The Intent, the film seemed to get its moral compass from your character, Mitch, more so than Guns, who was like the lead character.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what? I made a joke to Nikki. So Nikki likes to write lots of characters.
Okay.
I don't. And we were having the same thing with The Intent too. And we've got new characters and they're interesting, but you could have merged my character with the police officer character.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Yes.
It's funny you
Yes.
saying exactly.
You could have merged it.
Yeah.
And the film wouldn't have missed nothing.
100%. See, because
If you merge my character with his character, it would have been a better film. It would have won Oscars.
no, but here's the thing, though.
The
because
thing is, remember, I'm a writer, so I can. Do you know what? Intent is not even my best work. The thing is, I've not even written my best work yet.
Of course.
And I know I
course,
haven't.
yeah,
I'm far from it. And like The Intent 2, for the streets, for what we're trying to do, is much better than The Intent. It's like if I start telling you guys what it's about, you'd be like, whoa. Like it's like when I called Scorcher the other day when I was in Calgary, and he was like, yeah, what's going on with The Intent 2? And literally, me and Scorcher are not even that close. We spoke for about an hour and a bit on the phone. Because I was telling him the idea. And he was like, you should do this. I'm like, yeah, we did that already. We should do this. What do you think about this person playing that? I'm like, yeah, we got that person already. It's mad.
That's
what we're trying
dope.
to do with it.
That's
It's
dope.
crazy. But
that's dope.
but yeah, you could have easily merged those two characters. Like, you could have merged lots of characters in The Intent. But we wanted to, like, I wanted a role in it. No, actually, I didn't even want to be in it. I just wanted to produce it. But I'm glad I did it because I think it means a lot to people. I'm more and more realizing how people enjoy my acting. I love acting. But it's almost like me, like, being frustrated with the industry and not getting that much work at a certain stage in my career made me hate acting
Okay.
as a defense mechanism.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course, yeah.
Because I wasn't successful within that field in the way I wanted to be. And my peers were just going on to do great things, and I was really frustrated. And so I thought, I'll just plow my energy into making my own stuff and putting myself on. And so I kind of turned against the industry, whereas that's suffered now, and I'm able to really understand why things weren't going my way when I expected them to go my way when I was younger. And I don't know why I was now. I'll go on a bit.
No, man, we were talking about your character being more. The
Yeah,
moral
and so we
compass of
wanted
the
my
film.
character in it. And Nikki was like, you have to play it. Because you don't understand how much of a big star you are. Like you have to be in it. And I'm like, nah, man, like, let's get another young. He's like, no, you have to do it. You have to do it. Like, how they gonna, like, the other names you're suggesting, they're not as big as you.
They're not. That's that. Definitely not. Definitely.
Like, you have to be in it.
Bottom line is your name is
But,
known.
yeah,
So
and
it's
and
necessary.
and also, like, but sometimes I don't appreciate that. But, like, even going to Calgary, I was telling you guys were here, right? Like, I was telling you guys earlier, like, I was in Calgary, which is 14,000 miles away. I was in a town called Banff, and there was a guy there, like, working in a shop, and he'd seen my film, my acting work, and in that moment, I realized that's what God called me to do.
Yeah.
If my work can touch people's lives 14,000 miles away,
What does that say? Yeah.
Doing
what am I
something,
doing
right?
here? Like, and so now for me, like, I really, like, after we've done The Intent 2, and we've got a few other films on our slate. We've got about 6 films. So I'm doing a film, The Intent 2. I've got a film called The Black Skinhead. I've got a film with Amel Amin.
Okay.
That he's playing the lead in. I've got a film with Penny Walcott. I've got 2 films with Penny Walcott, the lady that made One Day. One's called The Rapper and The Soprano. I'm trying to get novelists for that. I'm just putting it out there because I really like him. I've got another film with her called The Day the Dog Died. I've got what other film? Me and Nikki have got a film called. Huh?
Are these all features?
Yeah. Me and Nick, we got TV stuff, but this is our TV slate. Me and Nikki have got this is our film slate. Sorry, we've got TV stuff, but this is our feature. And me and Nikki have got a film called Sound Clash, which is like gonna be mad. It's gonna be set in Jamaica. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice,
But
nice.
Nikki and I, you know, got all these films that we're doing, but after those films are gone, like I'm just like focusing on like actually putting myself, getting the right film for myself as a lead, and that if that's written by me, that's written by me. If that's written by someone else, that's gonna be my focus. 2018 is Femi season. Next year I'll go through the intent. I'll do all the stuff that I'm producing, but my next big search is for a project for me as an actor. And like that pushes me as an actor, and like
That's what I would say, brother. In the intent, it definitely showed a different side to your acting ability. Like,
I suppose it wasn't comical. It was a similar character, though.
But you was very like the whole religious aspect and all of that. Like that, it gave like
gravitas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How did you feel about that scene? I like the scene in the playground with your daughter. How was that shooting that scene?
It was
fine. It was very serious.
That was Nicky's daughter.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and I've known her since she was young. That was his daughter, and it was. I think that was special. That was a special moment.
It was.
Like,
it was.
Being able to like for
Nikki,
Nikki's my co-writer, is my friend. Like we've been on this film grind for like 5-6 years together, and like for him to like bring his daughter on set and like she be in her first film and be good in it,
and be good. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, and
that was special. Like, it was nice. I love that scene more for her, like and like for what it meant for us as young black dads. Like my kids are too young to be too young to be in a film at the time, but like being able to put Nikki's daughter in it, that was really nice. That was special. And like we had another scene with her that got lost in like the madness. There was a scene where my character in it is in a church, and you know what happens in the church, like the final scene in the church, and she's sitting in the church when it happens. But we lost the footage somehow. I wouldn't even get into it. But like that was a crazy scene. Like the way we shot it before, that would have been crazy. But yeah. But no, that was a special moment. I think it was nice to show, like, it's important to show. When I got the first draft of the script, there weren't that many women in the film. There weren't no women at all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, like, Scorcher's character's mum didn't exist. Dylan's girlfriend didn't exist. My character didn't have a daughter.
Okay.
And so I wanted to put more women. I mean, they're not great women characters because actually, if they didn't exist, the film would work, all of them.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So they're not rounded.
Oh my God. Dude, did you just destroyed your Mac? I can't believe you just did that. So, okay, Ace just literally destroyed his MacBook Pro. I don't even know if I can.
So Ace is so clumsy.
God.
Yeah, this shit happens.
His foot went in the wire of in the studio. It looks quite dangerous, actually, these wires. And he tripped over his laptop.
It's definitely a health and safety issue, right?
A little bit.
Definitely.
I'm seeing, is that a glass on the floor?
I don't know.
This is what happens in the Cut the Chat studio.
Wow.
Ace is, I don't even know if that laptop is fixable.
I don't know if it is, The screen just went blank, but okay, wow. Sorry.
But yeah, so I added these characters in because I thought they would add more depth to it.
Yeah.
And so we got more interesting characters. It's quite a male-oriented film, though. It's quite a male world, and like
that's the thing. You're coming from a male world.
Yeah, and so but we've got other films that we want to do a film with, like Set It Off.
Okay.
So me and Nikki want to do a film like Set It Off, like
with some female leads and
stuff.
Yeah.
We've got stuff. We've got so much that we want to do, but it's just like time. It's like The demand for the Intent 2 means we have to
next up? Is that
we have to.
next up? Okay.
It wasn't our plan, but we have to because that's what everyone wants.
Yeah. When we
go to town now, everyone wants like, where's the Intent 2? Yeah. And like they'll give us good money to make the Intent 2. Is it coming back alive? Ace's laptop. We're all holding our breaths for
real.
But yeah, so
when are you looking to drop? When are you looking to drop the Intent 2?
Well, we'll probably shoot next quarter of next year.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's the aim. It's quick, but
but if it works, it works.
We have to do it quickly.
Can you? Obviously, I don't want to give away too much of the film, but like, will there be some characters returning? Basically, because there's
I want everyone to come back.
Okay, cool. Everyone who's alive.
We'll see.
It's a prequel.
Yeah. Ah. Okay.
And everyone's like, why are you making a prequel? Oh man,
I like that. I already like that.
I'm getting a code. Everyone's like, why are you making a prequel? Sorry for the snuffling, listeners. I've been like rubbing my nose all interview. Why are you doing a prequel? You shouldn't be a prequel. Prequels never work. But I actually thought about it. The prequel to Godfather, yeah. Godfather 2 is a prequel.
Exactly.
And that's the best one.
That's the best one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I sat in my house the other day, I was like, Godfather 2 is actually better than all the other Godfathers.
Yeah.
It is.
It plays at current time and it plays at dope film. And I'm not saying we're making Godfather 2. Let me just be clear. I'm not saying we're making Godfather 2, but I'm very confident. I wanted to bring all the characters back because I felt all the guys worked so hard on the film. And I really wanted to, like, I knew we would probably get a bigger deal for the Intent 2. And I really wanted to reward them both financially and, like, just, they've done so much for us. Like, you know, some of the guys, like, did it on deferred payments. Like, do you know what I mean? So they've done a lot for us. So, like, I wanted to, like, find a way to bring them all back. And obviously, some people are going to say, I don't want to do it, or I'm not available. Like, I didn't do Brotherhood. Like, they wanted me to. I just said, no, I'm not doing it.
We wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, but I just did. No, you can. You can ask me about it. But, like, obviously, some people are just going to say, I don't want to do it. And so we can work around it. Because, again, like I said, we've got more characters than I want in it anyway.
Okay.
Like, I'm one for cutting characters. Like, the more I grow as a screenwriter, the more less characters. Less is more.
Okay, I respect that. I like that. But yeah, not to delve too much into the whole kidulthood, adulthood, and brotherhood thing, but because I've heard you talk about it before previously on your show on Cut the Chat when you were talking about the size of the role.
Do you know what? I might have said too much. I was like emotional on that podcast.
Oh, for real? But it was honest though.
No, it was honest. Mostly honest. Like, you know. But the point is, like, I was never gonna do that film.
I was
just lying to people. Like, I was never gonna do that film.
What? Even if the role
2 years before, I said to my agent, a year before, my agent said to me, they're writing the script for Brother. Do you want to do it? And I said, I bet I'm not gonna do it because of everything that I said on that podcast.
Okay.
And I knew I wasn't going to do it. Sometimes you just know deep down. And that's not where I want to be, man. I don't want to be like, I want to do stuff like The Intent. I want to do stuff like, if I'm doing hood films or like street films, I want to do, like The Intent is like a better street film than Brotherhood. Like, easily. I've watched it. Like, it's not as good as The Intent. I don't care how much money they spent on it. I don't care if they took 20 million at the box office. It's not as good as The Intent. Like, no way. Like, honestly, if people look deep down in their hearts, if like No Clark goes and watches The Intent and thinks Brotherhood's better, he's mad. I'm not even like being disrespectful. I will say that to no knows. Like, the thing is, no knows. I'll say that to his face. Like, The Intent is much better than Brotherhood. And like, if I'm making street films, I want to making stuff that's like raises the stakes. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, people, you can't even. It's just a different level. It's a different space. Like, it's more in depth. It's more naturalistic. It's more. It doesn't seem contrived. It's not.
I would say The Intent, as you said, and it's funny that you said what the influences are. It reminded me a lot of the Bellies, of the In Too Deeps of this world. It was on that type of cult classic, if you kind of go and say.
Yeah, it was dropped. Like, we wanted to make it for the streets. Like, we wanted to make our own Paid in Full. That was what it was.
Can I mention two scenes that to me were very similar to two hood films? Okay, well, one hood film and one is a.
What, the corner shop robbery? That's from Juice.
Juice, yes, yeah.
And like when they walk in the nightclub, it's from Belly.
Yeah, are you okay? Dope.
Like, but we did that on purpose.
No, that's dope though. Because I like that. Like,
I know, I could tell you. I could tell you why they're similar. Like, I could tell, like In Too Deep because of our police officer
Because of the
character.
undercover agent.
Undercover
aspect,
agent.
Yeah.
Juice, because our inciting incident is exactly the same as the inciting incident in Juice, which is a corner shop robbery. Paid in Full because of the spirit, the vibe. It just feels like a street, like real. Like I feel like it was made in the spirit of Paid in Full. Like the intent is that just these hood niggas that I never use that word properly. But like basically Paid in Full is like these guys that just come out like and they're really like one of them's not really on being on road, but he ends up being the one that's on road. So it's in the spirit of Paid in Full. The guys are like just normal guys to start off with. Like, but you see that in the prequel that they weren't normal guys to start off with. But the guys like the way we present it and the intent, they're just normal guys to start just chilling. And one of them is like, how about we do this? Like, do you get what I'm saying? And then you've got there was another influence.
Fast and Furious.
What's that then? Which one's that?
Okay, I might have to. Spoiler alert, because it's going to be a spoiler.
Yeah, go
on. When D'Angelo gets killed.
Or when
and Guns reveals himself as a cop when he's calling a cop, when he's calling for backup. That's Fast and Furious, isn't it?
I didn't even pick up on that.
I see. Yeah. That was when when Vince gets have up by the truck driver. And
there's another one. There's another film. There's so many.
No, I like the influences.
What we did, I don't run away from that.
Nah, you should.
I take films that are like the thing is the mistake we made with this a lot. We did kind of we took House Party and we took it's exactly like a Tom Cruise film.
Which one? I know. Oh God, how can I forget? When his parents go away and he has a party in the house.
Risky Business, is it?
Risky Business. Exactly that. The concept is based on risky business.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like a little bit Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Do you get so those were the free references for that. But we were trying too hard to make a commercial film. But like for this one, we wanted to make a street film like the ones that we grew up. Because I remember when I watched In Too Deep. Like I was at my friend's house. I was 13 years old. I couldn't believe that his parents let him watch like these grown-up DVDs. And like I remember like there's a scene on the snooker table. Like, I couldn't believe that was real. Like
think about it.
That was shocking. Like for me when I was young. Like I was 13 when I watched that, and I thought that stuck with me. And when I watched Juice, like it was like Tupac's performance, Scorcher's performance is like Tupac. Do you get what I'm saying? So like it's like we really leaned on those films heavily because there's a whole generation of people
that grew up
that don't know those films.
Well, here's the thing. See, usually in this show we have like half the show after we've reviewed a film, we usually cover an urban classic, like basically like one of our favorite hood movies from back in the 90s. So we want to ask you, because we're not going to cover a specific film. You've just given us some of your favorites, i.e., Juice. You said Paid in Full, In Too Deep. What's your number one favorite urban classic?
I don't have that, I can't give you that because that's just too much. I like Friday.
Okay.
I remember watching Friday as well. My cousin had the DVD, like cassette, VHS. What am I talking about?
Everyone remember watching cassette.
The cassette. And like, I remember like just like the first time I watched it, I just wanted to watch it over. And I think I watched it loads. Like I just couldn't believe like it was like
such a
so
simple
real,
concept,
like,
but
I
so
just
real.
Loved
Yeah.
it. And like so, I definitely like that. But I think I like. One film made me cry when I was young, and I don't like. It's really embarrassing. It was like Brown Sugar or something like that.
That's fine.
That film made me cry. I swear down, that film made me cry. I just remember. I remember
films make us cry, man.
I remember, like, but I never cry at films.
Nah, that's my shit.
You know that mad thing is, I never cry at film, but I remember watching that by myself and crying.
Getting emotional.
But I've never like this. The thing I never cry for any. Like I've probably cried in my life for 2 films. Wow. That Brown Sugar and Crash, where the guy's daughter's about to get shot. I just got the tear. I was embarrassed. Like the thing is, the times that I've cried for films, I've been by myself, and I've just been like embarrassed. Like Femi, man, what's wrong with you?
We had this.
What's wrong, boy?
We covered this in the podcast, so we talked about
Femi, what's wrong with you, boy? Man up.
No, but it happens. We talked about guy cry films. There's certain guy cry films that you can't avoid.
Man
get
up,
emotional.
boy.
You
get emotional.
I think I don't have kids. What am I crying, Femi? Man up, Femi.
It happens though, man. You know what I mean?
Serious.
No, but yeah. So what was I saying? Where was I now?
Your favorite
urban. Your favorite, or a couple of your favorites.
I think I can't even go beyond those films. I like Brown Sugar. I I don't even really like Best Man that much. Everyone likes it, but I thought it was all right. It was too grown for me. Remember, like, I was grown, like, I was young when those films come out. So it was, I watched them, but I couldn't, I think if I was my age now and I was watching them films, I'll be like, oh, yeah, it's amazing. But, like, there's certain things, it's just like, when the elders used to talk about going raving back in the day, like, in the 90s and stuff, you wish you were there, but you weren't in it, really. You just heard it on the cassettes, like, it wasn't the same, like, and so you reminisce about a time that really didn't exist. Like when people go mad for old school garage, I wasn't there. Like really, I was young. I was in primary school.
You heard about
it. But you felt like you were there though, so you wanted to beg it. Like, but really, it's not your story. It's not your journey.
That's funny.
Journey, I like those films that paid in full, but I like a lot of the black films that came out back then. Like you know, and just to. And it's sad because we've not really had that many. Like in the UK, we've had only a handful of like films that people know about. Like you know, there's lots of like brothers that get ideas and make films that no one's heard of and no one's ever gonna hear of. That I know of because I'm in the industry and people send me stuff all the time. But like you know, like I could probably count how many urban films have been made. There's probably been about 10. There's been like about 10 max, and that's 10 in about 10 years.
And that's the irony. We cover so many urban classics. So it was that period of the 90s to early 2000 when the US black movie market
was booming.
It was booming. It was everything. And they've got a large amount of classics that came from that whole run. But it never came over here. It never seemed like it replicated over here. It took so long for something like that to happen.
It's like, you know, from Bullet Boy was the first, right? And then Kidulthood came. But there were other films before that. This is what I'm saying. That like people will be like, "What are you talking about? Bullet Boy was the first." But for me, for my generation, from when people are talking about stuff, like people like I remember watching Bullet Boy. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing. I thought I was scared that it was gonna blow Kidulthood out of the water. But because when I watched it, I was at college and I just done Kidulthood and I watched it and I was like, "Oh, it's actually good, you know." It's actually good. Oh, I wish it wasn't good. And it was good, and then you know, and then Kidulthood came out, did well, and like I think it's a healthy time. And then Rolling with the Nines came out, I think. After Kidulthood. No, same year.
Oh, same year?
I think it might have been on the same weekend.
Oh, for real?
It was close.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was
real
close.
Yeah.
Rolling with the Nines come out, and then, you know, a bunch of films come out. But I think that kind of died in about 2000. After Another Hood, urban films stopped doing well.
Well, then how do you feel being at the forefront, like being quite prominent in the black film industry as it stands currently in 2016?
It's a privilege, bro. It's a privilege. And I think it's a privilege that I need to wear delicately because like there's so much more that we need to do beyond films like The Intent. There's so much more that we need to there's so much we need to do,
which leads me on to another question.
And they're privileged, and we need to appreciate the privilege it is. Like, you know, for me, like working in film, working in TV, like I'm branching into TV now. Like me and Victor's company, Purple Gecko, is like really a TV business. Like it's focused on the TV industry. Like and if you look at like I was just telling these guys earlier, like, you know, I got to fly premium economy to Calgary, like my own car, and like, you know, porters like this. That's a massive privilege, man. Like when I was like 6-7 years old, I was walking around the streets of like Nigeria with no shoes on my feet. Like that's a massive privilege, man.
Come a long way, man.
Yeah, man.
Seeing as, say, for example, The Intent, like touches on the concept of quote unquote gun violence in the capital. How do you feel with people coming to you saying, okay, the film is advocating it or glorifying it?
It's not though, because all like the characters get their comeuppance, and then at the same time, it's there's lots of different elements to it. It's the first film to actually talk about Christianity out of all the urban films. It's the first film to show, like, you know, a young black father. Well, Brotherhood does as well, actually, to be fair to them. And like, you know, trying to do his thing, like trying to do your best for his child. It's like the first, it touches on like undercover police officer, like young black man being that undercover police officer and the difficulty of that. Like for him, like, you know, there's a scene that's like, is there a film called Brooklyn Nights? No, not Brooklyn. Brooklyn's Finest.
Brooklyn's Finest.
Brooklyn's Finest. Wesley Snipes. Like, you know, there's a scene that's inspired by one of the scenes in that where it's like, you know, like, like he's torn. Like, you know, like we could
Doesn't
just leave now. Like, I could give you my money. We could just go. Like, you know, because we can't keep doing this anymore. Like, it's not gonna work. And so it touches on the difficulty of that. But it does touch on gun violence. But then the intent was always meant to be a thriller. It's not real. Some of it is hyper reality.
Hyper reality. I get you.
Some of it is like the way they're going in, like licking off people's heads, like people's eye sockets are popping out and stuff. Like that. It's like, some of it, and we did that on purpose. Actually, the special effects, because the special effects we can control it, right?
Okay, yeah, of course.
Like we didn't have to have the guy's eyes pop out. Like, you know? But I thought, you know what? Like, let's push it because it like makes people aware that actually it's not real. It's hyper real.
Yeah.
And so,
where did you get this random question? Where did you get them masks from? Because man was thinking, if I was gonna do any crime, I would wear that mask.
You know those masks?
Because you're not seeing my face, fam. You're not seeing my face.
You know those masks, yeah? I couldn't even tell you where I got it from. Because so we were like, had a production meeting one day, and we were like, we need a mask.
Yeah.
And it's weird because Nikki, my business partner, was describing this mask to the art department girl, whoever was responsible. I think it was the art department girl that was getting the mask. And he was like, he wants a fencing mask.
Okay.
And I don't think she got what he meant. And like, no one kind of did. Because he was describing this type of mask. And we were like, yeah, but we need a different type of mask. We can't just have balaclava because it looks a bit dead. And like, but we need a different type of mask. And we can't really have a Halloween mask. And we had options. And she came with this mask. And we were like, whoa.
That's the one, man.
That's the one.
Whoa. She found it. And then, like, to be honest, it's on eBay or something like that.
Yeah?
She found it on eBay.
You shouldn't be, like, you know how many mans are going to be picking up that mask?
Yeah, I know. I don't really care.
Like, that's true.
But the thing is, the people sold out of masks, those masks. Because we bought them all at one stage. And like, we were going to sell them on our website, then we thought we can't do that. We're going to do it as merch. We're going to do it as merch. I'm not even going to lie. We had an idea to do it as merch and like buy them and resell them at a higher price, like the intent masks. Like you can buy it on our website. But we thought, nah, man, that's like, we'll get shot down by the police. Like, but we were going to do it as merch. We might bring back the mask actually, because me and Nikki were talking about getting a different one, but it was quite cold because it meant like we could use it as a motif, like so it was on a post. The poster's the guy with a mask on.
I was just thinking that.
Do you get what I'm saying? But really, that's Scorcher. But you don't even see Scorcher. It's like the guy with the mask on. So it's quite dope. It's quite iconic imagery.
It works.
And there's an image. There's a poster actually that we've never released. It's like Fecky's got half the mask on, and it's dope. Like, you know, I'll show it to you afterwards. It's dope. It's like, it's sick. Like, so it's strong, iconic imagery, and so, but it was just on eBay or Amazon or something like that.
That works. So how do you feel personally, almost like being perceived as, like, say, the UK Eddie Murphy in regards to
that's funny.
Being,
I've not
wait.
done that many characters.
No, not so much in the character's perspective, from a producer's director perspective, hiring the most black people in a UK film.
I have, you know. I have.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what I'm saying.
I've hired like more black people than anyone. It's weird because they did
that's conscious.
They did a thing the other day, and they put us as like It's a Lot was one of the top. It was like top 5 or something.
I saw it.
But like the intent is actually got more black people in it than any film I've seen from England, and it should have been top of that chart, I think. But I don't think they had it before or something because they invited me to that event, and but I couldn't go. But Victor went because I was away. But it's why not, man? Why not? Like, you know, like I said, like I why not?
Do you feel like because, as well as you said, you was an actor, or you're still an actor, and it's a struggle. Do you feel like it's now you're in a position where you can give them opportunities to people that would never even get them?
Firstly, like, you know, with the intent, we tried to cast white actors. They said no. They tried to overcharge us. They
Serious?
Yeah, I know. It's just like
you like bun that in the end, then basically.
Call my man from up the road, innit? But I don't know, man. I think I have a responsibility to like give other black actors opportunities. Now I'm in a position of power. I don't like just want to do black films. I don't just work with black people. Like work with white writers, white directors, like white everything. Or Asian. Like I work with people of different races, but like if a film can have black people in it. If I can make a series like Luke Cage in Harlem, I don't know anyone that's been to Harlem. It's got bare black people.
You know what I'm saying?
Like it's probably got more black people than I've seen anywhere in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's being gentrified now, but
Real
historically,
Harlem,
do you get what I'm saying? It's one of those ones that in some worlds there are more black people than white people.
Yep.
And so it makes sense to cast people of color in those roles. And also at the same time, I genuinely do, like, if I'm in a position to put people in stuff, then I will, like, even it doesn't matter if it sells less or if, like, the powers that be think it will only appeal to black people. I don't really care, like.
Because if you listen to that, then we wouldn't.
Yeah, we wouldn't have the intent, like, you know. But then, like, I want to make diverse content. I want to make content that truly. I don't think any of my content truly reflects real life. Okay. In England, there's not just areas where there's just black. In England, of course. In England, like in America, maybe, but in England, you don't have areas where it's just. You have areas where there's more black people.
Have you ever been Fort Eve?
You have areas where there's a predominant, you know, black areas, but. Not as such, not as much all over England, like, you know, not in London, like, you have more diversity, and I think my content needs to reflect that more, but, you know, maybe access and, like, you know, the people that I know and the way we've casted stuff independently means that I've been able to put more black people in my stuff.
But you saying that your work needs to reflect that more, but I mean, you can look on the flip side of that where there's 1,000,001 quote unquote white TV shows made that don't reflect that.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have to be like them.
But that's what I'm saying.
They
they don't.
Yeah, but I don't want to tell a lie of reality.
Okay, I see your point.
If you're making something about reality and you're making it with just white people, that's a lie. If you're making it with just black people, that's a lie as well.
True.
It's not real.
It's
but
not
in that case,
real.
well, then they lie a lot then.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
no, but this is what I'm saying. But I don't want to carry on perpetuating the lie. But then at the same time, I'm proud that I've been able to give black people opportunity. I'm like, that's beautiful. That's like, you know, because my kids, like, my wife is mixed race. My kids are black. They look like black boys. They look like me. And I want them to be able to not think of themselves as lesser than anyone because of their color of their skin.
Okay. What would you, still sticking with the intent, say if you were like the 12-year-old, 13-year-old black boys that's going to watch that film, what do you want them to take away from that film? What's the message that you wanted?
Crime doesn't pay.
Nice. Okay.
Crime doesn't pay, but they might not though. They might just say like, I want a mask and a gun, like.
I want that big bottle.
Yeah,
in the
but
club.
what these kids have to realize is that I went to the London School of Economics. I studied law. Like, I made that film. Like myself, like me and Nikki and like our friends, like put the money up to make that film. Be like us. Don't be like the characters.
Yeah, but don't. I mean, you
I know it's hard. I know it's hard because people see. Like I said, people see me play that character. I'm 14,000 miles away. That's what I'm saying. It's important that we're conscious. It's like it's a responsibility that we have to wear delicately.
Of course.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's hard. People don't know I studied law. People don't know, like, unless you're sitting there doing research on my life, like, people don't know that. What people see is my work. And so 14,000 miles away, they'll be like, oh yeah, I saw your films, man, they're dope. But they're not seeing that I'm a dad or like I've got children. So, like I said, 12, 13-year-old, I would want them to take away, like, you know, that this film was made by us. It's about black empowerment. It's about us creating for ourselves and giving each other opportunity. It's about crime doesn't pay. It's about, you know, follow Mitch's character. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Or like the mixed race girl, like watching Sarah's character, like the female police officer in it. Like she's got power. She's a powerful black woman, and she's on, like, you know, all of that. But then I'm not naive enough to think like they're not gonna think, oh yes, it's like the 30-year. Yeah, but then when I watched In Too Deep, I didn't want to like shove snooker cues.
Nah, you didn't.
But I was 13 when I watched that. I was probably 13 when I watched all the other films I just told you about. I didn't. Like, but some people did. So, but I can never think like that because I've always listened to gangster rap. You could ask Ace. I listen to Rick Ross all the time, but I'm a Christian. I go to church. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And so like I'm a walking paradox.
But you know, I think was good. I know you said you didn't like too many characters. But what I thought was good about the intent, especially, was that each character did have kind of
their own journey.
Yeah, a little aspect of.
No, they did, and I suppose in the intent, the main characters are you've got Guns.
Yeah.
You've got Hoods. Hoods is culture executes that character. Like,
so
you watch it on screen, it's just fantastic, man. It just did such a great job. You've got the Angel. He's like fun, like and that's what he's like in real life. Sean's crazy, man. That guy's crazy. And then you've got Nikki's character, Shane, the one that comes out of prison.
Yeah.
And then you've got my character. Really, they're the 5 main characters. When you really get to the bottom of it, they're the 5 characters that sort of have 3-act journeys. Like they have a beginning, middle, and end. Like all the other characters kind of fit into those beginning, middle, and ends. And so it was nice to portray a diversity of characters. And then you got the Clappers crew,
of course,
and they're the real bad boys. Like you just from the way they move, you could tell like they're. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's how they,
and so and we get more into their story in the sequel.
In the sequel, that's what I was just about to ask you. Yeah, because it would be good to see that.
We get more into their story in the sequel. We get to see how everything came about. So. Yeah, man.
I like that. I can see where that would go.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know what? Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. I'll go on. I'm sorry, guys.
We honestly appreciate the time. We thank you for being a part of episode 23.
Yeah,
that's dope, man. That's
Two
dope.
guys at the movies featuring Femi Oyeniran.
Thank you for coming through.
You put extra N in my name,
Did I? No, did I?
Put some respect on my name.
Did I say Oyeniran?
You know, like, who's watched Luke Cage? Have you guys watched Luke Cage?
I watched.
He's like, I'm going to make sure he knows how to say my name or whatever. What's his line in it? I'm going to make sure he knows my name. He's so stiff. Like, I'm going to make sure he knows my name. He's like kind of a weird, nerdy type. Super. It's really funny. I'm going to make sure he knows my name. I'm up to episode 8 now. So like,
it's dope, man. It's dope.
No, it's dope. It's dope. It's some beautiful black women in that as well.
Woo! I've been seeing the clips. I've been seeing the clips. I'm not gonna lie.
Woo!
Chio, shout out to Chio Coca for doing his thing on that, man, because he worked hard on that shit.
It's dope, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna definitely cop that.
No, it's dope. It's dope. You need to watch it, but yeah, you have to put some respect on it. It's Femi Oye.
I was gonna say Oyeniran.
You said Onye.
Oh, did I? Sorry, my bad.
Oye.
Oyeniran.
Thank you very much.
Wait, before we go, if people want to shout at you, if they do want to holler at you, what's the best way?
My name is my name on every social media platform.
Okay, cool.
My name is my name. So it's FemiOyeniran. That's
cool.
Femi Oyeniran. Or you could just Google, like, I don't know, Kidulthood and look for the character Mooney, and you'll see my name next to it on Wikipedia or IMDb.
Okay.
That's what's up. Like, but yeah, man. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for showing love to the film as well. I think it's amazing that, something that we came up with, like, how you two guys will talk, we should make a film, blah, 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 has generated so much interest, and there's been almost like a cult around it, and people... And we've actually been able to make money off it. Like, when a film's a cult classic, you don't always make money off it. Like, we've actually, like, seen some of our returns in the next few months. So, like, we just thank God for the opportunity. Definitely. And thank, like, all the people that supported it, and thank all our friends and family that put money into it to make us, allow us to make it in the first place.
Thank you for coming through, man. And everyone, if you ain't seen it, you got to check out the intent. I hope you checked it out. But if you ain't,
you can rent it for £3.49. I think that's cheaper than KFC. I don't go KFC, but that's probably cheaper than KFC.
Yeah, probably cheaper than much cheaper than KFC.
Yeah.
KFC
that's
what's
up.
£25.
It's not cheaper than Morley's, but
Yeah, so that's it. You know where to check us out is at urban_iPlayer and at 2urbanguys. That's on Twitter and iTunes. Instagram. And obviously you can make sure you go check out the podcast on, all the podcasts on under Urban iPlayer Radio on Instagram. On Instagram, what am I talking about?
You're just messy.
Right
You are just
I'm just messy right now. On iTunes and SoundCloud. Make sure you check us out. Yep. So that's it. That's it from me. I was Kwame.
I was Enigma. And that was 2 Urban Guys at the movies with our special guest,
Femi Oyeniran. See? Told you.
So you got it right. Finally.
Black Star Power. Ownership is key. We out. Peace.
You are now listening to 2 Urban Guys at the Movies.